The most remarkable discovery in all of astronomy is that the stars are made of atoms of the same kind as those on the Earth. I thought one should have the attitude of, what do you care what other people think? Until I began to learn to draw, I was never much interested in looking at art. The internal machinery of life, the chemistry of the parts, is something beautiful, and it turns out that all life is interconnected with all other life. It is necessary to look at the results of observation objectively, because you, the experimenter, might like one result better than another. I was born not knowing, and have had only a little time to change that here and there. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. Science is the belief in the ignorance of experts. Physics is like sex. Sure, it may give some practical results, but that's not why we do it. What I cannot create, I do not understand. I think it's much more interesting to live not knowing than to have answers which might be wrong. If you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics. Study hard what interests you the most, in the most undisciplined, irreverent, and original manner possible. The imagination of nature is far, far greater than the imagination of man. For a successful technology, reality must take precedence over public relations, for nature cannot be fooled. I learned very early the difference between knowing the name of something and knowing something. You have no responsibility to live up to what other people think you ought to accomplish. I have approximate answers and possible beliefs and different degrees of certainty about different things, but I'm not absolutely sure of anything. We are trying to prove ourselves wrong as quickly as possible, because only in that way can we find progress. The more you see how things are, the more questions arise. It doesn't matter how beautiful your theory is, it doesn't matter how smart you are. If it doesn't agree with experiment, it's wrong. I don't know what's the matter with people. They don't learn by understanding. They learn by some other way, by rote or something. Their knowledge is so fragile. Nature uses only the longest threads to weave her patterns, so that each small piece of her fabric reveals the organization of the entire tapestry. Fall in love with some activity and do it. Nobody ever figures out what life is all about, and it doesn't matter. The easiest person to deceive is yourself. I love to doubt as well as know. The joy of finding things out is the essence of intellectual life. Our freedom to doubt was born out of a struggle against authority in the early days of science. It was a very deep and strong struggle. You have to stop and think about the complexity of what's going on in a leaf of a tree. I'd hate to die twice. It's so boring. All the time you're saying to yourself, I could do that, but I won't, which is just another way of saying that you can't. To solve any problem that has never been solved before, you have to leave the door to the unknown open. I'm grateful for the moments shared in discourse. May our paths cross again in the fullness of time.